This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, hello all. Very good morning. Welcome to the day one of our course. So, today our main agenda, as I discussed in the group, we will be looking into a performance testing basics, where we will try to understand why this performance testing is important for an application. What are the important KPIs which you need to look for when you are performing performance testing? Like, for example, what are those indicators which show your application is performing well, right? So those things we will try to see, and also we'll try to see different types of tests and their application. Like, for example, in performance we have different types of tests which we run, like load, stress, and all. So in what scenarios we need to run those tests? What are the exceptions? When can we avoid running some tests in our project? So we'll try to understand those things in detail today. Okay. Yeah. So let me share my screen. Let me know if my screen is visible to all. I hope the screen is visible, right? To all?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, so let's start. Let's first try to understand what is this performance testing. You'd have heard like a lot of jargons or definitions like load, stability, and let's try to understand this thing in little detail so that you don't forget these. Like if you understand something deeply, then you will never forget it. But if you try to by heart those, then you might forget those. Okay, so let's try to understand that with some fundamentals. Okay, what is this performance and what are we expecting from those? So when you're test, let's say you have an application, okay, and this is, let's say, your browser, okay, and let's say this is your application. So let my user is like requesting, okay, something, and my application is returning back. We will discuss these details. So we have a request, response, and all. Okay, we will discuss what is this as we progress. But for now, there's a request, there's a response. So this is one browser. Like, let's say there are some 10 browsers like that, all communicating with the same application. So now here initially there was only one browser. Now there are 10 browsers. So the number of requests also has increased. Request means like I'm asking the application to send me back something. So let's say when I'm searching something in my, like when I'm searching online something, like let's say this is Jenkins. Okay, so I'm just giving here Jenkins.io. So when I do this, what I'm doing is when I'm typing this and sending, so when I press enter, the request is going to my backend application sitting on a server somewhere. Okay, we will discuss all those. But for now, just focus on the that I am hitting this request. Okay. Now let's say here there was one. Now there are 10. So there are 10 requests being hit in the application. Okay. Initially it was one. Now there are 10. Okay, so when one request is sent, like let's say there is a road, okay, one person is going or one vehicle is going. Okay, now there is a road same size. Okay, 10 people are going or 10 vehicles are going. Where there will be traffic jam, here or here, in A or B? Everyone?
B.
So
B.
where, in which case there will be a traffic jam, where there is one car going or where there are 10 cars are going in this one.
Scenario B.
Correct.
B.
So there will be a traffic jam in this case, right? So this is a similar case, right? Like see, this road is nothing but your application, and the vehicles are nothing but the browser requests which you're getting. So more the number of vehicles in the same road, your road will get cramped, or you can say there will be a traffic jam. Okay. And now due to this traffic jam, now let's say I need to reach Delhi. Okay. I'm starting from my home. A vehicle is starting. Okay. Now it reaches Delhi in 1 hour from my home, considering there is no other traffic. Okay. No traffic. Now there is one more scenario. This is A. Now this is B. Same, I'm going to Delhi only in this case also. But there are like 10 homes, okay? And all these vehicles are going to Delhi. Now here I will reach Delhi because of this traffic jam in 2 hours. So basically in A, the vehicle will reach Delhi in 1 hour. In B case, it will reach in 2 hours. You're getting my point why it is reaching in 2 hours? In B case B.
Yes. Um,
Because of the
Due
traffic
to the
jam.
extra traffic, right? Like it cannot go very smoothly, right? Yeah. Similar case comes to our application also. So when there is a browser request going on, when there is only one request, the application is easily able to handle that. But when there are many requests, what happens is my application has to queue some requests. There's one queuing. Then there sometimes it cannot handle those many requests at a time, so it does some batch process. So there are multiple things. Okay, due to which what will happen? My browser will send a request and it gets a request response back. Okay, this is a response and request. We will discuss this, what are this request response and all in detail. But for now, so let's say my browser hits the request at 1, or let's say 1 p.m. Okay, and it gets the request response back at 2 p.m. That means it takes around 2 minutes. Okay, now this is for one browser. Okay, this is for one browser. Now, what if this is with respect to 10 browsers? So same, like if I start at 1 p.m., I might not get the request by 1 2 p.m. It might go to let's say 1 4 p.m. Like it takes 4 minutes here. So more the number of users or more the number of browsers, your time, how much it will take will also increase. So basically more the number of users. So let's, here I'm saying browsers. So browsers are nothing but users, right? So let's say I have some, this is one browser. Okay, now let's say we have so many people here, audience, right? Like everyone start their own browsers and they have an application. Okay, and we all start hitting together. So browsers are nothing but users indirectly. Okay, so we call them users. So more the number of users, more the response time, right? Now if we see this website, okay, now this I'm typing and I'm giving enter, right? So this landing page comes into my uh, laptop. Now why, from where does this come, right? So if I give inspect, right, just right click, inspect, this Chrome DevTools will open. Okay, so what you need to go do is go to network here. Okay, this network part here, just click on that. Now what you do, this is what I am typing, right? Let's say I'm typing this and I am giving enter. So when, as soon as I pressed enter, you see there are so many requests going, right? And you get some status, and we will discuss what is this request body response, what is the status type and all, what these are. We will discuss all those. So this is the request which I hit, the main request, okay, which is going to the backend. So if I open this and see this waterfall, see it is taking 22.95 milliseconds. So initially it's queued, then it's stalled, then there are different stages to that request. Okay, so request was sent. For sending the request, it took only 0.3 milliseconds. Okay, then waiting for the server response, it waited around 15 milliseconds. So this is how you try. So now let's say we all are hitting it together, like 5 6 people are opening this together. Okay, or like 10 20 hundreds are opening this together. Like let's say you have amazon.com. Okay, So Amazon, every second or every minute people are searching a lot, right? So there is a lot of load on the system, so traffic is very high, so this response time will also increase. More the users, more the, so let's say there is some offer going on in Amazon, okay, so many people will be searching Amazon at the same page, same time, right? So in those situations also, this response time, like let's say you have an offer today and tomorrow you don't have an offer. Today you will see the response time is high, and tomorrow you will see the response time is low for the same page or for the same URL which you are hitting. This thing is called URL. We will discuss, but yeah. So ultimately, what I wanted to convey is, more the number of users, more the anyone.
Response time.
Yes, exactly. We always say response time. We don't say time. Okay. Now, why do we say this response time is because this is the time when how much it is taking for the response, right? Like from the UR from the backend server, how much time it is taking for the response to come to be. Okay, so that's why we are saying it response time always. In performance, whenever we speak about time, it's not time. We don't say time. We will say the response time. Okay. Now, now take one more scenario. Now, in our case, this road was of same size, let's say 100 meters. Okay. Now, this is for one vehicle. Okay. Now, what if, like, let's say my road is there. For one vehicle, it is like this. For 10 vehicle, let's say my road is made of rubber. Okay. Made of rubber, it can increase the size based on traffic. Like now it becomes 1000 meters for 10 vehicles. So in this case, it took 1 hour to Delhi. In this case, how much time it will take to Delhi? Let's say 1 hour. Now, why the time is same in these two cases now?
Because the road
Because
size increases.
it's getting
Yes, the
auto
road
scale.
size is
It's
correct. So
getting auto.
now in applications, we can do this. Okay. In applications, we call this auto scaling. Auto scaling is nothing but you have a server, it has some resources. We will go in detail, but for now, since we are speaking about this topic, so this server has some resources, like let's say one CPU, one like some 5 GB RAM. Okay. Now what I can do is using, if it's on cloud, okay, let's say my server is on cloud, assuming my server is on cloud. Now what I can do is I can increase this one CPU 5 GB RAM. Let's say for one user it is like this. Now as soon as it becomes 10 user, what I can do is I can increase the CPU to 2 CPU, and RAM also I can increase whatever I want, what 8 GB RAM or whatever I want. Okay. Based on that, what will happen? More the resource, response time will be handled properly because the resource is there still. So that's why if I plot a graph, okay, a response time graph, okay, let's say these are users, number of users, okay, like say 1, 10, 20. So what happens? More the number of users, my response time will increase. Okay, this is the response time. This is for case where there is no auto scaling. Okay. Now let's
Uh,
say there is another case
Vishnu.
where we have auto scaling. And these are users, 1, 10, 20 users. So at one user it will be, let's say, some response time. At 10 users also it will be same. So it will be a straight line when there is auto scaling. Means like it will be little fluctuating. Like in real world it's not always ideal case, right? So there will be small fluctuations, but it will be under a limit in this case. But more the number of users, more the response time. And it might not be linear also. Linear means like it could be like this also. Okay. Or it could be like this. So that's what from the test we find out, okay, how the graph would be. But ultimately, more the users, the response time will increase, it will not reduce. Okay. So that way it will reduce if there are some bottlenecks, failures and all, that we will discuss as we progress. So is this clear everyone regarding like how the number of users increases, why the response time increases? Is it clear?
Uh, yes, Vishnu.
Yes.
Uh,
Yeah.
Vishnu, one
Right.
question.
Yeah.
This auto scaling part will be mostly in the cloud, right?
Yes, correct. Because in monolithic systems you can't scale because
Hmm.
they are not built for that purpose.
Correct. Thanks, Vishnu.
Yeah. So now next
Yeah,
is
Vishnu,
yeah,
one
go ahead,
thought.
go ahead.
This is yeah.
Yeah.
So, generally in performance testing, is the auto scaling done and then checked?
See, basically, if you have an application, if it has auto scaling, it will be already deployed in performance environment. Okay. So whatever you test will be with auto scaling. Now, there are some test cases where you specifically test the auto scaling, like whether your auto scaling is working properly or not. So in those cases, what you do is you sometimes disable the auto scaling and test it to understand system behavior. And what you do is then you run another one more test by enabling the auto scaling.
Okay, okay, got it.
Yeah. Because this is more so this auto scaling is more sort of a functionality. It's a software functionality, so you can disable, enable, you can do that, okay, easily. We will discuss this, like how you enable horizontal scaling, how you enable vertical scaling, what is horizontal vertical scaling and all. As we progress now, we will go in detail in these auto scaling topics, right? Now next is, so we know users and response. Okay, so now let's say I have a request, one request. Sorry, today I will be boring you with this request response, okay? Because that's what is the fundamentals all about. So this is a response, okay? Now let's say I have 10 requests this time. So I will get 10 responses, okay? If all are consuming, it's a successful scenario, like all are successful. There are failure scenarios also, which we will discuss. But for now, let's say all are successful. So in this case, let's say one request it is taking one like when I hit at one let's say it's at some time I will take, okay, I will hit at 0 seconds, okay, and I get the response back at 1 second. Okay, now here I hit at 0 second, I get the response back at, let's say, 1 second. Same, assuming, okay, there is auto scaling or whatever, so both the places I am getting in 1 second. Okay, now here in 1 second, how many requests I am getting? Hello everyone. In 1 second, how many requests I'm getting? No, sorry, response, let's say. How many response I'm getting?
How many response?
Response.
One, right? So in 1 second, so because, see, in 1 second I'm getting one response. Now here it is 1 second, I'm getting 10 response. Is this part clear? Like why it is 10 and why it is 1?
Because of the auto scaling this?
No, no need to confuse. What I'm saying is, see, this is a scenario which I have given. Like one request you are
Hmm.
hitting and you're getting a response back in 1 second. You are
Okay.
hitting 10 requests and you are getting 10 responses back in 1 second.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it.
So in 1 second here it is one request. In 1 second here it is 10 responses. One response, 10 response. Now,
Hmm.
so just I'm writing that 1 second it is one response, 1 second there is 10 response. So now there is there is one concept called throughput. Okay. So throughput is basically how many requests you are hitting in a minute. Okay, so now let's say in this case, how many requests am I hitting in a second? It is one, right? Is this clear, everyone? In 1 second I am hitting one response, right?
Yes.
Now
Yes.
in this case it is 10
10.
per second, right? So now these things, right, this thing which is in seconds is called TPS. Oh no, I will not say TPS, let's say RPS. Okay, this time requests per second. Is it clear?
Hmm.
So if
Correct.
someone asks
Yes.
you how many requests per second, you can ask them in 1 second how many requests you are hitting. Okay. Now, let's say 20 requests per second is the value. Now I want to convert this into throughput. Okay. So throughput is per minute. Okay. So 20 requests per second. If I want to convert it to throughput, I need to multiply it by how much? Because I want to change this to minute
60 seconds.
into 60.
60.
Okay. Right. So it will be around how much? Right?
1200.
RPM. So our answer would be 1200 RPM. We call it request per minute or throughput. Okay. So just putting in what I can say, just putting it in all in a one nutshell. So we have throughput. Throughput is nothing but RPM, and we have RPS, which is nothing but 60 into RPS is RPM. So this you can note down, okay, where M is equal to minute, S is equal to seconds, R is equal to requests. Yeah, so clear everyone what is throughput? Like if someone asks you in interview what's the throughput, like let's say I have an application, I'm hitting around 100 requests per second. What is the throughput? If someone asks you, what you will do?
Per
We'll
second, how
multiply
much
it by
request?
60.
Multiply by 60, and you
Yeah,
say, okay,
yeah.
the request per minute is this much. That's the throughput. Okay, right.
Yes.
So can I clear the board?
Yes.
Anyone
Yes, Vishnu.
noting down? Yeah. Okay, so I am clearing it. Right. Now let's say I have an application. Okay. This is the throughput. Okay. Throughput means like my request per minute or request per second. And this is the time, like my test is running, like let's say 1 p.m. Now this is 2 p.m. Now 1:30 is there, 1:45 is there. Okay. So this is the time which we have. Now let's say this is 1, 2, 3, 4. So basically RPM, okay? 1 RPM, 2 RPM, 3 RPM, 4 RPM in that. When I'm running the test for my application A, let's say my application A, okay? I see the graph like this, okay? Now there is one more application, application B, okay? For which I see the graph like this, okay? So now by seeing this throughput graph, which one is more stable? Any guesses?
Second one.
Second one.
Second one.
B.
Yes,
B.
the second
Yeah.
one is more stable. Okay. Now, why this application is more stable? Because, like, let's say the users, like 100 users, we are hitting same 100 users, okay, overall in that same time. Now, this 100 users, sometimes the throughput is 2, sometimes the throughput is 4, sometimes it's so your application is not able to handle the request properly, right? It is keeping on changing because of some issue in your, let's say, load balancer or auto scaling or your database connections. So there could be multiple reasons behind that. Okay, but if you see the graph, you can catch whether your application is performing well or not, or whether your application is stable or not. So this is the graph, the throughput versus time graph we call it, is the graph which will give you something called stability of your application. Okay, stability of your application, which is very important. Okay, because in performance we look for two things, one is load and stability. So how your application is performing under load and how well your application is stable. Okay, so is this clear, like why second one was more stable than first one? I guess most of you are clear because I got the answer very quickly. So now whenever you get a throughput versus time graph, you should be able to easily say which application is more stable. Now let's say now this application is not stable. Okay. So this application is not stable. So what do I do with that then? Like if it is not stable, should I report the development team and I should fix it, or I should leave it? So as a performance tester, what should I do?
Uh,
You
I
should
I think
report
we
report
should
it.
to report this because
Yes, we
application
have to
is
report
very
this.
structured in.
Correct, correct. So we have to report this now, like let's say, so what is that reporting limit, right? Because in ideal case, you will not find a straight line. You will find something like this. Okay. So in ideal case, it should be under, we say 10 percentage. So 10 percentage means like, let's say your steady median, we call it. Okay. It is 2. So it can go somewhere around 2.2 to 1.8 to 2.2. That's fine. Now, if it goes above these values and it's constantly happening, then we say your application is not stable and we need to fix it. Now we need to find out, we need to use we have our monitoring tools, right? We have our AppDynamics, we have our Grafana. We go through that. We just try to see, okay, why these peaks have happened. Now at this point of time, what was happening in my application? I try to drill down, like let's say there could be some slow performing queries, right? Some query being hit because it could be due to some of our data also. We need to check whether our data is stable or not. Okay, so those things we will learn, like how we try to analyze. So this is regarding the execution. Now so as I said, we keep a total 5% plus or minus tolerance. This is important. Okay, is this understood? Like why this? What is this 5% tolerance? Everyone? Anyone has a
Yes.
doubt in this 5%?
uh,
Yeah. So let's
please
say
explain it.
my target is 2 TPS. Okay. I just use TPS little more than RPM. Okay, because I'm more comfortable with TPS. But both are same. You can just multiply by 60. You will get RPM. Okay. So just saying. So let's say I have a 2 TPS. RPS. Just again, because I'm already we use in our performance T transaction, right? So I'm always using T. But until we don't go to T, we will use R. Okay. So 2 RPS. Let's say now this 2 RPS. If this is my target, according to my NFR or something, okay? And we will see what is NFR. It's a non-functional requirement, we say it. Let's say my client has said the 2 TPS, 2 RPS is the requirement, okay? So 1.8 to 2.2 is acceptable, okay? So that's what this 5% is all about, plus or minus. So, sorry, it's 10%, okay, sorry, plus or minus 10%. Is it clear, everyone?
Explain it again.
Yeah. Yes.
Someone was asking some question. I heard a
Explain it again.
Sorry, I didn't get the question.
So, Vishnu, I have a question for you.
Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
So, is it applicable to in every scenario, this plus
Yeah,
or
this
minus
is
10%?
yes, this is like a thumb rule we follow. Okay.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Now this has exceptions when your client says, okay, like let's say your client says we can accept between 20% also, like due to some application justification, or your architect says, okay, and they approve it, then that's fine. But as a rule of thumb, when do you need to report? Okay, for the first time, it is plus or minus 10%.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, coming back to this throughput time graph. Now let's say I have a graph like this and I see a peak like this and I go like this. Okay. So now does this peak have some importance? Like let's say this is at 145 I observed. Okay. Now when you see something like this, when you see something like this, what
Yes.
could be the reason? Okay, like this is 2 TPS, now this is 4 TPS.
Yeah, means this is the load after like it's beyond the limitations of the application's capacity. Then it is getting high response time.
Basically,
Kind
see,
of,
I am clicking it with 100 users continuously. Okay, and the users are same 100 users. Okay,
There
Okay.
now
was
I
a
just
sudden
want to
spike at 145.
It's time.
someone is not speaking. Can they go on mute? I guess there is. Yeah, thank you. Right. So now to make it more simple, okay, let's say we have a scenario like this. Now, why this thing is happening? Your throughput is dropping and going again high.
What is dropping?
This could
so
be due to
written.
your data either or your DB, right? Your server getting restarted, your pod getting restarted, correct? Because in that situation, my server was not responding. That's why my throughput went down quickly for some 2-3 seconds. So basically what I want to show is we will go in detail, like many scenarios we will see how to find the bottleneck and all, but I just wanted to give an example to show you that throughput time graph is very important. Okay, using this throughput time graph, you can find out many issues in your application easily by just this one graph, by just analyzing this one graph. Okay, yeah. So now for stability, we have throughput. Okay, now what for load? So for load, what is there? So what is the KPI for stability? It is throughput. For load, it is the response time. So these are the two things majorly we are interested in performance testing: load and stability. So if your application is performing well under load, the response time will be low under the limits of, we call it the SLA. We will see what is SLA. Now, and if your application is stable, your throughput will be again under the limits, and as I said, the fluctuation and all will be under the limits. So we say your application is stable under load. Is it clear, everyone? So throughput and
Yes.
response time are the two important KPIs which we try to find, analyze, and report. Getting, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Right. Yeah. So any questions, anyone till now? Anything from beginning to the end?
I am fine with this still so far.
Yeah. Okay.
This,
So now what? I will not bore you. Yeah. Good. Good. Someone was asking a question. You were asking a question, anyone? Vijaya or
Yeah, Amol here.
yeah, I am. Yeah.
Yeah. Is this throughput we have to calculate manually or it is automatically given by some type of listener or something like
Yes, it is automatically given to you by your AppDynamics or Grafana.
that? We did not need to calculate every time, no?
No, no, no. JMeter will also give you. Okay, we will learn that.
Yeah.
Like JMeter will also
Okay.
give you your throughput. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, yes. Right. Okay. So now going to the next topic. So now what I will do now, I will not bore it since it's your first class. I will not bore you with lot of theory. What we can do is next we can see how we install JMeter in our local machine. So what are the prerequisites and all? We will try to see that. Okay. So let me
Vishnu, one question. Sorry.
yeah, good.
Yeah. So just few minutes back, you were saying that one state, almost a state, and then all of a sudden we saw that downward, and then suddenly up, and then it went straight. So
Correct.
that
Yeah.
could be the reason of the server restarted or the data issue. Just opposite case, suppose a state and all of a sudden a spike came, and
Correct.
then again it came to the normal. In that case, what could be the like possibilities kind of things, because there are multiple possibilities, like can explain, can tell couple of.
Yeah. So see, for example, I will explain you that in detail, but for now, there are some
Mhm.
situations where you have deadlocks in your system. Okay. Now this when these
Yeah.
deadlocks open, your throughput increases. Okay. But again, the deadlock will come up because it could be due to some cron job or some threads which are still alive. Okay. Multiple reasons. Okay. So in those
Kind.
situations, what will happen is your traffic becomes loose. Okay. Ultimately, your throughput will increase, but again it will come down because that deadlock will appear again.
Okay, okay.
That's one
And
example.
kind of the
Then there are
garbage
DB,
collection, garbage
yeah,
collection
yeah,
is not
correct,
done.
correct. Garbage collection related, and also your DB. Sometimes what it will do is
Hmm.
there could be some processes which are running. Uh, that processes won't be there in that specific time. Okay, so
Oh,
now when that process is not running, my server has extra resource, right? So that time my throughput might increase. I can see spikes in my throughput. Okay, so those are the situations like there could be multiple reasons.
okay, okay, got it.
Yeah.
Thanks, Vishnu.
And yes, ultimately one more reason is if you increase your users, right? If you're running with 100 users, you add like 50 users more when your test is running, and your throughput will increase. So
Yes,
basically,
so
if you
that
see
that
this
kind of the
graph,
incremental load kind of things will come, right?
correct. So basically,
So
that if you see like this graph, okay, this type of graph you will see in a spike test. We will explain, we will like try to see that, like what is a spike
okay,
test, okay. But generally this type of graph you will see in a spike test. Spike test is nothing but test when you do, like for example in Amazon there is an offer promotion, okay, like let's say like there's some offer going on, so it will start, flash sale will start at 5 p.m. So at 5 p.m.
okay,
suddenly like 1 million users will come,
right.
right? So when that happens, will my system be able to handle? Getting my point, everyone?
Yes.
What is a spike test? So let's say at 5 p.m. flash sale is starting. Like let's say some MI mobile or some Samsung is releasing one phone. Okay. So at 5 p.m. 1 million users will flood my system. Okay. But till now it is just 500 users. Okay. Let's say, or like not 500. Let's keep it little 5,000 users. Okay. Now it is there. So 5,000 users are doing at 5 p.m. it will become 1 million. So whether my system is able to handle such a quick increase in the users, whether my auto scaling will be able to scale quickly. Okay, so all this to test all this only spike test is done. Okay, yeah, we will discuss this. Right. Now coming to,
Thanks.
yeah, next question. You can. Yeah. Yeah, any questions? Anyone? Right. Now let's quickly see how we install JMeter. Okay, what are the prerequisites and all. Okay. First of all, see JMeter is a Java tool. Okay. So for that you need to have Java installed in your machine. Okay. So for that purpose, first you go to this link. Just download the JDK. We'll put the link in the chat. Okay. Yeah. So this one. This is for downloading the JDK. Now, one thing you need to make sure before you install or you click on that link and start installing it, first you go to your command prompt. Okay, just type cmd in your search. Just run as administrator to avoid any rights issues. Okay, then you enter Java. Okay, just JAVA, and you enter version. Okay, if you see this like Java version, it is showing something. Okay, then that means you already have Java installed. Okay, so you don't need to install this, which I put the link. No, you don't need to do that again, because generally Java is used by multiple applications, so you would have already installed it. Okay, so if you are seeing this, no need to install it again. But if you are not seeing this, you install it. Okay, using this link, just click on the link, it will install. Now the next thing is, once your Java is installed, just enter envir. Okay, basically it will open these options to you, environment variables. Now here select edit the system environment variables. Okay, now this dialog box will open. I hope my screen is being shared, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Now here click on environment variables. Okay. Now here go in system environment variables, just add a new variable. Okay, and give the variable name. Just give like this. I have already added it, so I will just show you that. But this is for the lower versions. Okay, like for example, if you are doing it on Windows 7 or 8, you need to do that. Okay, just a second. Yeah, so you need to give an environment variable with this path. Okay, so this path is nothing but the path to your JDK. Okay, so JDK is nothing but, if you go here, it's for lower environments. Okay, like lower operating systems, I'm saying, not for Windows 10. Okay, if you go here, you will find inside Java. Yeah, it's inside.
It is there. It is there. Yeah, just we saw.
Yeah,
Sure.
here. Okay, so here you will find that JDK 19. No, this path you need to give fully. Okay, so this path you need to give it inside your system variable. Okay, this details I have given in my slide. I will share with you all. Okay, I will give you that slides, which is this one. Okay, here I will be sharing this slide to you all. In that you will find more details. So in this slide, so the slide number 12. Okay, so basically you need to add a system variable Java home. Okay, with the name and the path. Okay, the Java path. Even JDK, if you have separately, you can do JDK home and Java path. But basically this one is not required when you're doing Windows 10. Okay, because it's automatically taken. So this environment variable is not required. But in case if it's not being taken, you can add this. Okay, this line. Now once you're done that, okay, once you have added this like this, see program files, convoy, Oracle, Java, Java path. So in that way, once you have added that, what you need to do is just save it. Okay, save it and save it here. It's here. Like if you go here, you give OK. Okay, if you add new, just click on new. You can add the name and the variable name. Okay, once you have done that, you can just give OK. So once you've done that, again go to command prompt and enter Java version. You should see the version. Okay, so once that is done, so first step is installation of Java, right? So once Java is installed, second step is downloading your JMeter files. Okay, so just go to Apache JMeter. This link also I'll put it in the chat. Just select download releases. Now if I go to the binaries, just download the zip file. Okay, so I will just copy the link address and put it in the chat. So basically now what this will do is, this will download a JMeter file for me. Okay, so it will download the file for me. It's around 84 MB it's showing. Okay, so once it's downloaded,
Any specific version recommended?
yeah, so version recommended, you go for the latest one always. Better to have the latest one.
And for JDK, Java?
19th, yeah, 19 you can use.
Okay.
See, but if you're using i3 and all, I got some requests like I'm using i3 laptop. So in those situations, go for 17, okay? The lower one. Okay, yeah. Now coming to yeah. So once you have downloaded that, okay. So again I go to JMeter. Yeah. So once you have downloaded JMeter, your zip file will look something like this. Okay. Once you extract it, like just right click, extract to this one, whatever file name you give, you will get this folder. Okay. After extraction. Once you have extracted it, go inside this, you will see these many files, backups, bin, docs, and all those stuff, files you will see. Now in this, go to bin. Okay, so in this bin folder is the most important folder. So now one thing you need to understand here, Java, this app, JMeter doesn't require any installations. Okay, so you just need to download the file, run it. That's all. There's no installation required. Okay, so to run the JMeter, what you need to do, just go to the Windows batch file. There's one Windows batch file with the name JMeter. See, JMeter Windows batch file. Okay, just run that. Don't close this, because if you close this, your JMeter will also get closed. Okay, so don't do that. So just keep this command prompt open. Okay, so if your Java is installed properly, if you run it properly, your this dashboard will open, which is the JMeter dashboard. Okay, the initial dashboard. Now you can open JMeter in one more way. Okay, I'll just close it. What you can do is you can just directly go here. There is one executable jar file. See, there's one Apache JMeter executable jar file. This is not recommended, but you can run JMeter also using this. But recommended is Windows batch file, because sometimes this executable jar file will not run in some machines, okay, due to some conflicts and all. But this is also one more option. I wanted to show. Just click on that. Your JMeter will open. Okay, so it will be on the dashboard. Now there is one more way to open it. Okay, so if you, let's say you want to open JMeter, okay. So what I did now here is simple. Now let's say if I'm not able to open this folder or something, but I know the path where I have installed JMeter. Okay, so I will go to that path. See, I'm inside that path. Okay, in my CMD, I'm inside that path till the bin. Okay, in that path, what I will do, I just enter JMeter dot bat. My JMeter will open. So these are the three ways in which you can open JMeter. Now this method which I showed, can anyone guess where it will be more useful?
To
Linux.
run this
This
in
method,
non-GUI mode.
correct, yes. When you are doing it on non-GUI mode, if you want to run JMeter test, if you want to run the JMeter server and all, this method will be useful. Okay. So we will see what is the importance and why we need those and all when we go for distributed testing. Okay, in distributed testing we have more known GUI. Okay, so that time we will see. Right. So now this is how you install JMeter and you verify, okay, whether your JMeter is running or not. Now, this is one prerequisite for this course, okay, installation of JMeter. The second prerequisite is just creating one AWS account, okay. Now, if you don't want to use AWS, you can use Google Cloud also, okay. So I will explain you both, like AWS and Google Cloud, how you create the instances in AWS, how you create instances in Google Cloud, how you configure the firewall in both, so that these are the two things which you mainly need to do. Other things are common. Okay, so if just you need to get into the machine and run the commands, both cloud will be same. Only the creation of the instances, updating the firewall and some other changes will be the difference. Okay, that I will be showing you most probably in the tomorrow's class, because now we are already at about time. So if I start now, I might not be able to finish it. Yeah. So any questions anyone till now regarding the installation of JMeter? Like any Java or JMeter anywhere which you feel you missed it, or
So far, good. I am.
Sir, is it possible to install on 32-bit?
yes, yes, 32-bit also you can install. There's no limitation on that. But only thing is go for lighter applications in that. If you're running already heavy applications, it your JMeter might get stuck when you're executing. Okay, so go for like uninstall all the heavy applications.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. So now, if you see the, just I'll quickly go through the next our steps. Okay, like how we will be progressing. So see now the way this course will progress is, first of all we have planning, right? So we will be seeing the planning, test plans, test strategy, and all, how we develop a planning stage. Then we have the implementation where we learn JMeter, we learn InfluxDB, Grafana integration, and AppDynamics. Okay. At the same time, we also learn JMeter, which is the execution and analysis. Okay. So once we reach execution stage, we will be extensively seeing JMeter. Once we are seeing analysis stage extensively, we will have InfluxDB, Grafana, and AppDynamics. Okay. So now once we have planning, implementation, execution, analysis, the next thing which we will have is the automation. So we will reach the Jenkins, which is the CI/CD automation. We will see how we automate the pipeline using Jenkins, how you use the JMeter, how you integrate JMeter with Jenkins. Okay, that all those details we will see when we go to the automation stage. So if you see the flow, okay, so we have planning, we have implementation, we have execution, we have analysis, then we have automation. Okay, so planning, implementation, and execution. So in these stages we will be completing JMeter. Okay, once we reach analysis, we will be looking into InfluxDB, Grafana, AppDynamics, and automation we will be looking into Jenkins. Now here in JMeter itself we will look into other topics like BeanShell and all. Okay, will come in this sector. Now in planning stage only this performance basics, test plan, strategy all will come. Okay, so this is the stage by stage, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. We will go till the end. Okay, this will be the flow which we will be going as we progress in the course. Yeah. So any questions, anyone out of this?
No, sir. I'm good.
Because why I'm explaining this is, I guess this might be the final free session, I guess. I don't know whether there will be more free sessions. So if you want to ask any question, you can ask me now.
So, sir, so few of the guys are asking questions in chat box.
Oh, okay. Let me see. However, yeah. So basically, see, this Kubernetes and containers are nothing but, see, whatever application you are learning JMeter on, no, it will be on Kubernetes and Docker. Okay. So when we see that application architecture, when we do a planning and all, no, that time we will learn on Kubernetes and container. Like
Yes.
what are
Sir,
Kubernetes
sorry.
containing, how you can
Sir,
utilize,
sorry, I'm
how you can.
interrupting. But hello.
Yeah, go
But
ahead.
actually, someone is on unmute, and there is a lot of disturbance coming.
Oh, okay. Yeah, now it's better. Yeah, so basically what I said is, so Kubernetes and containers will be there in overall course because your application will be on Kubernetes, right? So we will discuss Kubernetes, what are the basics of Kubernetes, how the scaling works, and how you can create pods, delete pods, and all those. Okay, those details we will see uh, in the overall course because your application is on Kubernetes and containers. Yeah. So any other questions? Right. So tomorrow we will start with AWS and Google Cloud. Okay. We will see how you create your account, how you create the instances, how you configure your firewall, basics of that, basics of both the cloud. We will see like what is EC2 instance, compute engine, and all those. Then after that, we will move on to the JMeter basics also, and even performance testing, different types of tests. Because what I generally do is I try to divide theory and practicals little equally in a day, because so that the students don't get bored. And also I make sure we don't lose the continuity. Okay, so yeah, okay. Amol, you had some question. Is that why your mic was
Yes.
Amol? Yeah.
Yes. That that AWS and cloud account is how to open that account? Is that we have to do it today or something like that? Another tomorrow.
No, tomorrow you can do. I will show you. You can do it tomorrow. It's a free trial account, so
Okay.
keep one email ID ready for that, and your credit card. They will charge you 2 rupees, okay? And you just follow
Okay.
what I show in the class. Don't do anything extra, because if you do something extra and if it's out of the free trial, they will charge you, okay? So never do what
Okay.
I don't do, okay? If you follow
Yeah.
strictly
Okay.
what I do, nothing will be charged. Yeah. Google Cloud is
Okay.
safe
Thank you.
than AWS. AWS is also safe, but I had received like long back, they tried something and they were charged, but I never faced that. But still, better to be safe. So just follow what I show you. Okay. Right. Yeah. So anything else? Or
Hi,
else,
Ishna.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Ishna. When will we start the basic recording and that flow?
Yeah, we will start it soon. We'll start it soon. We will be starting in the next 2 sessions.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, then if no more questions, anyone? Final call for questions.
Sir, actually,
Thanks, Vishnu, for
there is a
your
new.
today's valuable
Yeah,
knowledge.
yeah, thank you, Avinash. Yeah, it's Avinash, right, or Avi?
It's Avi's. In short, I used to say Avi.
Oh, okay. Yeah, thanks, Avi. Yeah, Neil, go ahead.
Okay.
You are
Yeah.
asking something.
Yeah, I was saying that there is a new service given by Amazon, and by using that, we don't need to install Java, and set the environment variable specifically. So in
Okay.
that
Mhm.
I can help. I can share my screen and I can take only like 30 seconds. That how we
Yeah, yeah,
can do that.
you
It
can.
is very
Yeah, you
easy.
can. Yeah,
Yeah, sure. Thanks.
yeah.
Uh, so this is a service. The
Hmm.
name is Coreto. So like for
Yeah.
example, you want to configure a Java 17, right? So what you need to do, you just need to download the MSI file, like for example Windows 64. So I created a sort of document. I will not take much time because this is very easy to do. So
Okay.
once you will download the Coreto 17, right, and you will double click on the setup MSI file, so it will show this screen where you just need to like click on next. So what it will do, it will install the Java and will set up a environment variable automatically. You don't need to do anything manually. It is very simple,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it
that
will be
that is good. Yeah, that is good. Even
yeah,
you, Neil, you can share that link in the chat. But if somebody is facing little difficulty in doing that, you can use our method also because maybe AWS
yeah,
little overwhelming. Okay, so
yeah.
uh, yeah.
Actually, it is enterprise one, and it has less complications in compared to the manual process which we used to do in the earlier
Okay.
days.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, thanks.
Yeah. Thanks, Neil. Yeah, that was useful. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
Right. Yeah. Okay, then let's stop it here for today. Thank you all for attending the day one and also the demo. Hoping to meet you all for the next sessions and have a good day.
Yeah, thanks, sir.
Thanks.
Thank you all.
Yeah, thank you.